Emily, how does this sound? First place in the division. The Cardinals are at the top of the NL Central right now, thanks in part to Paul Goldschmidt's hot bat once again. We have a recap of last night's victory, plus celebrating one of the greatest Cardinals teams in history. Hear from the 04 squad coming up next in sports.
This is News 4 Sports, driven by Toyota.
It was a golden victory last night. Paul Goldschmidt homered in his 5th straight game to give the Cardinals a comeback victory and, more importantly, the first place spot in the NL Central. Doubt you're tired of hearing this. The Cardinals are really good right now. Their bats were hot once again. The Redbirds were trailing last night, but Goldschmidt's 8th inning heroics lifted the Redbirds to a 5-3 victory. The win, combined with the Cubs' loss to the Brewers last night, moved the Cardinals to the top spot in the division. The Cards are going for their 5th consecutive series win tonight. First pitch with the Astros was at 6:10. Right now we have no score, but we'll have more on the game tonight at 10. Well, today the Cardinals are celebrating one of their greatest teams. They didn't win a World Series that year, but the 2004 squad was one of the best to ever don the Redbirds uniform. Today they celebrated 15 years since their National League championship. A lot of star power in one room. Before today's game against the Astros, 24 Cardinals from that famous 2004 team gathered together to reminisce on that historic season when they captured 105 wins, reached the World Series after taking down the Astros. While they didn't win the World Series that year, many of the former Cardinals say it was the greatest team that they've ever been a part of.
I think our fans know for 6 months when they watch this team play, the excellence defensively, base running, the hitting, the pitching. And then I think they could see how close and how much respect these guys had for each other. Really, in affection, love, they're like brothers. It was a magical time. And we did get to October, and we're upset that we didn't get some wins in the World Series, but you got to understand what was accomplished, and I think our fans appreciate it.
This 2004 team, that's the best team I ever played on. That's all due respect to the 06 team where we actually won the World Series. But this was, top to bottom in the lineup, the pitching staff, the whole works. I've always said this is the best team we've ever played.
So great to hear from them. Well, in Springfield, Matt Carpenter is trying to show that he's ready to be back in St. Louis, but he continues to struggle through his rehab stint. Last night in the team's Christmas in July uniforms, Carpenter went 0 for 3 with a walk. Through 9 at-bats in Memphis and in Springfield, Carpenter has just 1 run and has been struck out twice. Manager Mike Schilt talked about Carpenter's timetable on possibly returning.
This timeline's somewhat fluid. It's about Matt having missed a fair amount of time, and prior to that time, kind of searching a little bit for his swing, and just a matter of, taking the opportunity to get those at-bats and evaluate where he is. And we spoke the other day, and we're both on the same page as far as where he is and what he needs to try to accomplish about getting more consistent at bats and how he feels about his swing. And when that happens, he'll rejoin us and he'll help us out.
Well, there's been a lot of special moments with the Blues summer tour of the Stanley Cup. General Manager Doug Armstrong had one with it yesterday. The keeper of the cup shared this priceless photo of Armstrong and his father, who is a Hockey Hall of Fame member and former NHL on-ice official. How great is that? And speaking of the Blues, why does it kind of feel like with what's happening with the Cardinals right now, it was just like the Blues season?
Right.
I mean,
that turned out pretty well.
Yeah, it turned out well. Maybe it'll happen with the Cardinals, but I mean, it just kind of feels like that happening all over again.
It's at least
Driven by Toyota.
The Astros snapped the Cardinals' winning streak at 6 games tonight, but one thing that they didn't snap was Paul Goldschmidt's hot streak at the plate. 04 NL Championship team honored today, part of the MV3 right there, Scott Rowland. We'll hear from some of them coming up next. Top of the first, Daniel Ponce Leon on the bump, 1 on for Correa to deep right center, and the throw to home is late. Alex Bregman comes in and scores, and it's 2-0 Astros. Top of the third, Michael Wacha takes over, bases loaded, Correa up again, and he does it once again, and this time it's a grand slam. First in his career, and that makes it 6-0 Astros. Bottom of the fourth, Paul Goldschmidt. Can he homer in his 6th straight game? And the answer is yes, he can. Solo bomb right there. That gets the Cards on the board finally and ties a franchise record with Matt Carpenter and Mark McGwire for homering in 6 straight games. The Cards add another run in the 8th inning, but that's it. The Astros win this one 8-2. We have a rubber match tomorrow at 1:15. Well, before today's game, the Cardinals honored one of their greatest teams, the 2004 National League champions. It's been 15 years since they beat the Astros to reach the World Series. Pre-game celebration for one of the best teams in Cardinals history, the 2004 club. They tallied 105 wins and reached the World Series after beating the Astros. 24 members attended today, including Hall of Fame manager Tony La Russa and part of the MV3, Scott Rowland and Jim Edmonds. The group talked today about what made them so great.
We knew what we wanted to accomplish, and we were pretty talented, and we just knew that when we went out on the field, we had a chance to put up some big numbers and win each game, and we pretty much did that. And our offense was crazy, and our pitching staff put it together, and we just rolled for a while.
Tight knit group, everybody pulled for each other. We we had the MV3. We'll have the bobblehead tomorrow and stuff, and we had a great bullpen. We had guys leading up to myself, and we had good starters. It was a tight-knit group. Everybody went out together. Everybody went to dinner together. Everybody had fun together, and everybody pulled on the rope in the right direction together. And it's something that good teams do.
Cardinals with sole lead of the NL Central, but for how long? Depending on this game right here, and this one has to go into extras. Bottom of the 10th. 3-2 Cubs, but Christian Yelich ties the game with a solo bomb right there, and it comes down to this right here, Keston Hiura, and he does it. Hits the game-winning 2-run walk-off homer off of Kimbrel, and the Brewers walk it off. They win this one 5-3. That means they're going for the sweep over the Cubs tomorrow. And yes, Cardinals fans, that means that they do still have the lead of the NL Central. Deep breaths. Well, there's been a lot of special moments with the Blues summer tour of the Stanley Cup. General Manager Doug Armstrong had one with the Cup yesterday. The keeper of the Cup shared this wonderful photo of Armstrong and his father, who is a Hockey Hall of Fame member and former NHL on-ice official. And I know there's bad news that the Cardinals lost tonight, but the good news still, Paul Goldschmidt's still doing great, has his streak going, and all that really matters is they're still at the very top of the NL Central. I think that makes everybody feel a little bit better about this loss.
Yeah,